Good morning, everyone. It is your guy Owen Comedian. Yesterday we talked about the behaviors of Africans. The behaviors of Africans. Yesterday we looked their behaviors, and that is how it went yesterday. Today we want to look how white people came in Africa when still Africans were still sleeping. And these white people took advantage. They took advantage and they grabbed everything possible for them in Africa and they went with them in their countries. We are today looking about white people, how they came in Africa and captured Africa. And after capturing Africa, they took the resources which belong to Africans and they went with them back to their countries. White men were born while they were genius. Were born totally genius and having a lot of brains. White men came in Africa and they were still powerful by the time they came in Africa. They found Africa still sleeping and they were calling Africans like baboons. They were calling Africans baboons because Africans were just resembling baboons. And that nature is still disturbing Africans up to now. So when the white men came in Africa in 18th, 17th, these people came with mission. Their mission was to capture Africa. And after capturing Africa, white men took all the resources like golds, petroleums, and salt, so many things, silvers. Those things were blessings that God gave Africans, the continent of Africa. Because Africans, the way they were born, they never knew that they have those wealth that God gave them. But the white men, when they entered the continent of Africa, through using ships, because during those times there were no airplanes, white men came and captured Africa continent and grabbed everything that they can do and went with them in their countries. These people grabbed everything, almost 98% in Africa, and they were mistreating Africans very badly. Africans were tired with white men because white men are people who are also having a lot of dictatorship. They take our goals, they harass our women, they kill men, they harass children, and so on and so on. White men. They captured almost 55 countries in Africa, which form the continent of Africa. So when white men came in Africans in around 18th, 16th, and 17th, they captured Africa through Indian Ocean, Mediterranean Sea, and so on and so on. They enter Africa with all corners of Africans. These people were very clever. They captured the mind of Africans, and some who were disturbing them, they deported them to their countries and they went and put them as slaves. For those people who understand history, I think we are together on this. So Africans were fools long time ago. And education, when education came, education opened the eyes of Africans. Even that education, the white men are the one who brought it. And they brought education and educate Africans. After educating them, Africa knew that they were slaves to white men. These white men were doing slavery in Africa, dealing with Africans in a very bad way, because they knew Africans have a lot of resources. And they wanted to rule Africa for even 300 years. But it never happened to them. So many Africans were taken to US. So many Africans were taken to Jamaica. So many Africans were taken to Mexico. So many Africans were taken to Russia. and others, and so on and so on. Africans were taken to Russia, US, and even Canada to do slavery. They were slaves. They were working in the gardens of white men. White people are dictators also. They grab our land, took everything which were possible to them, take to their country, invest, and their economy grow faster. And now they are powerful up to now. That is why Africans remain fools to them. According to white men, they normally see Africans as fools, because fools cannot talk where clever people are talking. So these people, for us to remove them away from our continent, we used to fight. We fight with them, and they were having also equipments which us we never have, e.g. pistols. A white man during those time knew how to make pistol, and they can even kill Africans in a very easy way, because they were very powerful and very clever. So they harass our women, they rape them, they kill men, they harass children, and others they deport to their countries. And they knew that this continent they will rule forever, and it never happened for them. White men knew that time is running faster, and they cannot sustain to rule Africans forever. So what they did, they grab everything under their power, and they take them to their countries. See how Europe has developed. Europe is developed with the resources of Africans. America has developed with the resources of Africans. For example, gold, silver, which were grabbed from Congo. Some were grabbed from South Africa, Pretoria, Johannesburg. Some were grabbed from Egypt. These people were taking even fish which were in Africa. These people were raping even women. Africans knew it later, when white men have already took everything and leave African empty. They took even petroleum which were in Arab countries. Arab countries which are in Africa has so many petrol. Egypt, those Libya, Egypt, those countries which are in Sahara Desert has oil, petrol. Those petrol were taken by white men. They went and invest in their countries. Don't joke with Mzungu. These people were clever long time ago. They went and invest and use slaves which are Africans, and those slaves helped them to grow their country. Their countries grew faster. So when those countries grew up, they became so powerful. That is why you normally heard of G7. Those countries which are under G7, US, the superpower, Russia is there, Germany is there, those countries are there, even China is there. The G7, those are countries which are very powerful. Even right now, the way we are talking, they can come and take everything in Africa, because they are still powerful with our resources which they took from our continent. Don't joke with white men. So guys, what am I trying to bring home? I'm trying to say there are people who are born with knowledge, and there are people who pursue it, who got it through education. And after getting it through education, knowledge can do anything possible which you want. And knowledge, the person who has knowledge can use a fool the way he wants it. And a fool will never realize. A fool cannot realize. that is being used so bad with a person who has knowledge. Ayok Baba Azal from Mulolongo, you are getting me so well. Guys, Baba Azal is in Mulolongo. You can visit Baba Azal there in Mulolongo, Masaku Traders. You go and purchase whatever you want to purchase there. He normally deal with electronics. Baba Azal in Mulolongo, Masaku Traders. Thank you, my friend. And others. So white men are still controlling us. They still have power up to now. They are still having power, and that is why they are clever. They are making airplanes, they are making vehicles, they are making everything. They are making even watch, they are making cups, they are making everything which us we cannot still make up to now, and we are still buying from them because they have knowledge. They are very clever. They are born when they are bright. We used to go to their countries. Even now, right now, we are still going to their countries. We work for them. Yani, in short, Africans, we need to wake up and see how we can overtake these Europeans, because European work with us very badly long time ago. It is our time. We need to overpower them. Africans, European are people who are very clever. White men, their country are more developed. We cannot get those people up to now. Their country are very developed, and they are very powerful. European people are very powerful. They are using Africans leaders even up to now through their brains. And what they have said, leaders from Africans cannot go away from what they have said. They have to adhere with their rules because they are still powerful up to now. They are superpower. They control worldwide. They control world. They left continent of Africa for Africans to rule themselves, but they went with power in their countries. They are still ruling us up to now. As Africans need to wake up and see how we can overtake these Europeans. We can take them through having a lot of knowledge. Let's educate our kids, and let what the kid can do right now, let him do it starting from his childhood when he's growing. That is how Europeans normally beat us, because their kids normally do what they love when they are still young, and they normally grow like that. So Africans, let's open our eyes and see the behaviors of these white men. The white men, they have gone far. They have gone very far. We have to deal and overpower them. We still have time. Even if they are ahead of us, we still have time. We can overpower these people. We can overpower them. European. These Europeans, we can still overpower them through knowledge. You don't overpower someone through fighting. You overpower them through knowledge. Knowledge is power. And knowledge can put you somewhere which you don't believe. Knowledge can make you to be praised with everyone. So that is why we are still praising Europeans up to now. So Africans need to wake up and see what is happening. We should not be used with these Europeans like that up to now. We need to develop our continent. We need to develop our countries. We need to develop our cities and our towns, and educate our kids, and educate everyone, and develop so that we can also have power. We need to stop corruptions. Corruptions are not in those countries of Europeans. Corruptions will stop in Africa. Those who are doing corruption in European countries, they are being jailed even forever. In other countries, they can even kill. In Africa, when you do corruption, that is a normal business. Because if the someone who is on the top is doing it, it is a normal dose. They don't care about it. So we need to wake up as Africans. Africans need to wake up. Thank you so much, guys. Tomorrow we will take it from there. Thank you so much.